Celebrating outstanding academic achievement is not a myth, but an annual feature at the Royal College of Port Louis. Royal College, Port Louis, one of the most prestigious educational institutions of the island. Located in Port Louis, more precisely at Cassie, RCPL has a long tradition of academic excellence. It has molded the character of many young adolescents who have now become eminent personalities, many of them leaders of the country. The origins of the RCPL can be dated back to the French period in Mauritian history. Indeed, the RCPL could be considered as a spin-off of the French Revolution. Education had become a responsibility of the state, and the materialization of this was to be l'École Centrale, located where the G2 hospital now stands. Under Charles Descamps, the last French governor of Île-de-France, l'École Centrale became l'École Coloniale, with a rather wide curriculum ranging from navigation to Persian. After the British had taken over the island, l'École Coloniale was restyled, henceforth to function under the patronage of the Prince of Wales. He made a special request for the major educational institution of the island to be named Royal College. Students not only came from various parts of the island, but also from Bourbon, India, and even Batavia. And 1818 saw one Alfred Bigot, a Mauritian, going down in the annals as the first laureate. Through the 19th century, the Royal College was a privileged witness of history in the making. In 1832, 3 years before the abolition of slavery, the doors of the school, which were hitherto reserved to whites only, were thrown open to colored children. This event paved the way for an education for all policy at the Royal College. Symbolically, the British takeover was complete when English became the medium of instruction at the college. In 1868, the Royal College was affiliated to the Cambridge University Syndicate thanks to Charles Bruce, the then head of school. Events in the later part of the 19th century would deal a severe blow to the college. Disease and natural calamities would force the college to sacrifice itself for the benefit of the nation. The college was transformed into an emergency hospital. In 1899, the Royal College was moved on to the center of the island in Curepip. However, with time, the need for a high-status college was deeply felt in Port Louis. Continued vociferous demands finally urged the authorities to resurrect the Royal College in Port Louis. It was to be at Edith Cavell Street, in the building now occupied by the Ministry of Education. The opening ceremony took place on 18th January 1929. The new institution was named Royal College School. It was also known as La School, a striking combination of French and English words. Mr. Castellin was appointed the first headmaster of La School. Due to a lack of space at Edith Cavell, some students were moved to a building situated at Cathedral Square. During that period, the contribution of Mr. André Glover cannot be overlooked. He deserves special mention for putting the school on a sound footing. He was acting headmaster during the late 30s and headmaster in the late 40s. He pressed for the creation of Form 6 classes in the capital. It was also under him that the first school magazine was published with its present motto, Vitae non scholae descendum, learn for life and not for school. With the growing student population and the need for more appropriate pedagogical support, it was more than obvious that a new site for the college was necessary. The choice fell on Cassie, a quiet suburban area. Professor Thornton White was entrusted the task of drawing the master plan. On Saturday, 29th September 1956, Princess Margaret laid the foundation stone of the school on a plot of land of 2.5 hectares. The event was also marked by the presence of Sir Siwsagar Ramgoolam, then acting as liaison officer. The school was opened in 1958 to receive its first batch of students. In 1960, Cyclone Carol hit hard the island, and the college was used as a refugee center. Students and staff had to move to the old premises of Edith Cavell Street for about a year. Other events of the 1960s and 70s greatly influenced school culture at RCPL. Important political and cultural changes such as independence and the advent of television influenced students to adopt new attitudes. They were in a revolutionary mood and started questioning the system. By the way, it is worth mentioning that in 1970, RCPL made a clean sweep of scholarships. During that same period, the Royal College of Port Louis was one of the rare decent venues for hosting international events, not only for academic purposes. Thus, in 1973, the RCPL hosted the OCAM Conference. 1975 saw an upsurge of student discontent, culminating into the May 75 strikes. Pressure groups demanded better opportunities in education. The RCPL was one of them. After the advent of free education in 1976, the RCPL continues to keep the banner high, not only in the academic field, but also in non-academic activities. Thus, in that same year, the Royal College of Port Louis was crowned as the Inter-College Football Champions. In 1982, the RCPL made an almost clean sweep of the state scholarships at stake. The 1980s saw continuity in excellence and improvement in infrastructure. With proceeds from two memorable fancy fairs in 1984 and 1985, a wall was erected along the perimeter of the school. In 1999, the Royal College of Port Louis received the Medal of the City of Port Louis for its contribution in the field of education. The new millennium brought new challenges. A wind of change was blowing again on the RCPL. It all started brilliantly in 2002, when the college had a record number of laureates.
Good morning, everybody.
In 2004, for the first time in the history of the college, a lady, Mrs. Kushiram, was appointed as rector. She has actively made every effort to maintain the culture and traditions of the college alive.
Oh God, grant us the serenity to accept the things we cannot change, the courage to change the things we can.
Today, among other innovations, the college has resolutely turned green, as in the case of the Green School project. In this context, students are sensitized on the importance of sorting of waste and creating a healthy environment at the school. Another major step to mark this technological era is the use of ICT tools in the teaching and learning process. The school strives to endow students with new knowledge and skills relating to the emerging technologies.
You will never be able to apply what's on the other.
Furthermore, to cater for a holistic development of students, numerous extra and co-curricular programs have been recently introduced, such as the Life Skills program and the First Aid course. These initiatives ensure that students are well equipped for life in order to uphold the motto Vitae non scholae december.
Time starts now.
Several clubs, managed by the students themselves, under the guidance of the teaching staff, ensure that all have an enjoyable school life.
I'm sick of everyone around with a big face, smiles and stupid lies. But they've been sad related, they don't know what it's like. Nothing feels alright, they don't know what it's like to be like me.
The RCPL is a close-knit family, embarked on the challenging journey of inclusive, lifelong learning and the achievement of excellence. Throughout history, the various administrators, PTA committees, teaching and non-teaching staff, students, as well as canteen keepers have made every effort to create a harmonious, healthy environment conducive to the students' overall development. To this day, students and staff have made every effort to preserve the much cherished royalist culture, beliefs and values that ex-students, the old royals, hold forever in their hearts and minds, and dutifully transmit to the young ones. Indelible memories forever.